console, the gaming laptops now are a lot better, and most of them are all 4K or at least 1440. As I said, I can still game on this, but that's why I thought, well, instead of using my computer, why not be smart? It's basically doing what Xbox does for the Xbox One X right now, where they can stream via the xCloud and get Series X type of graphics from their console. Because it's not their console doing the work, it's the servers doing the work. Right. So GeForce Now's Nvidia's thing, and it's one of the most powerful streaming like little apps to use. And there is a lot of games that you can play through it. There's just some that you can't. Like some Sony games you can't because they pulled their content off of their. Who else pulled their content? I think EA. Yeah, EA doesn't have their content on there, but it's not a lot that doesn't have their content on there. Yeah. I'm gonna start.
Alright folks, sorry about that. The internet was saying no. Nothing new. But anyway. I'm back. Or we're back, my bad. We're back.
I know. I bet you he's listening too, so guess what? Baby Bushido, it's your fault.
Baby Bushido. Alright. Video should start.
It's all his fault. He looked at the stream and it started playing up. Go back to bed, old man.
Oh my goodness. Welcome, Jesse B. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you, man. Alright. So, for those that are just now entering chat, we were talking about things we would like to see in the future for Xbox, like different ideas that we could add on to the system, or things, just things that we would love to see more of, things that they can improve. So, this Nightbot, why are you welcoming me to my own stream? Because I'm using certain words. I gotta fix that.
Welcome back.
Welcome, Trinity. Welcome back to your own stream. And you are all out of gum. No, but
I don't know where you went, but now you're back, so I had to welcome you back, goddamn.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, so far everything's looking smooth. We were off to a rocky start, but we're back in business. Jesse B says, just got into work and had you queued up. Oh, bless you, brother. Thank you. Hopefully work's going well for you. Jesse B says, hi, Spooky.
That's good, Jesse.
Good job, Nightbot. You're doing your job. Don't welcome me, welcome them. And I will welcome them on top of that.
Welcome back.
Been having issues with Nightbot's been a butt lately, so I've been working on that, trying to figure it out. So yeah, we've just been talking about brainstorming actually on what we would like to see in the future for Xbox, like things done to it externally or internally, or will there be a system in the future? We don't know. Because everything's going to cloud now. Like I was mentioning earlier, I would love to see like a Xbox stick or something. That would be cool. You stick it in the TV and you can use your Xbox wireless controller, something like that. And then Spooky brought up, you know how you like customize your controllers through the Xbox, what they call it, babe? Xbox Design or something like that?
The Design Lab.
Thank you. Yeah. Design Lab. So Spooky had an awesome idea of where you could actually send your system in to get tricked out, or you can I don't know if you can do that, possibly, but or you can just buy a new Xbox but trick it out before you get it, color it a different color, or they have designs that you can add to it, something like that. That would be sick.
Well,
go ahead.
If you bought the new Xbox actually through them, you could probably say, could you direct it to your design lab
Yeah.
before they box it up?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah. So you can do it that way. Trick it out before you trick it out. Yeah, that would be sick. If you're able to do that, I don't want to know how much that would be. So yeah, that would be cool. And then we mentioned, I think you mentioned VR. Love to see VR.
Yes, I want VR. Yeah, I want VR. But like I said, I think, like we were discussing before we got cut off about the handheld situation. Just like I think they can strike a deal with Gabe and Steam and get onto the Steam Deck. I think doing the same thing with, like, you know, the Oculus Rift or something like that, a company like that, since Microsoft's all about PC and has been for years as well, that might be an easy route into VR. You're going with someone that's already established on PC, one of those big crews, and getting it integrated and compatible with the next Xbox console. Because obviously at the moment, from what I can see, VR's here to stay. It isn't just a fad like 3D has been over the years. I mean, 3D was something back in the bloody 80s when, you know, I remember going to the movies with your green and red bloody plastic bloody glasses, and then it died off, and then it came back, and then it died off, and then it came back. But VR has came in, and whilst initially it might have been a little bit slow to take off, and I know the first lot of VRs did give people a lot of bloody problems, you know, head spins and feeling crook and that.
Right.
Each iteration's gotten better and better and better. And so
it has.
I think we're seeing, and we're at a point now that it is establishing itself as a way of gaming, and as, again, not just being a fad, so it's not going away. It's popular, and it's got its place in the gaming industry, obviously. I think it's a really cool way. I love it. I'm investing in an Oculus Rift myself for my PC because I've been trying my bloody friends, and it's amazing. Like, just how immersive it is.
Oh yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's something different. Something different again. It's like, you know, the arcades back in the day. That was something different again to gaming on your home console. Like a totally different experience, and that's what VR offers. So I'd like to see Microsoft team up with Oculus or someone like that and get into VR for sure.
Can you imagine Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in VR, and you're a turtle, and you can see the people you're fighting in front of you? Like, you see your arms? That would be sick.
Yeah, that would
and you do like different moves and oh man, I'm telling you, that would be sick.
Imagine having Crazy Taxi in VR.
No, you did not go there. No, you didn't.
Ooh, it's a crazy taxi.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that would be sick.
That would be bonkers.
Jesse B said.
Or like
Oh, go ahead.
Jet Set Radio. Jet Set Radio would be cool to be in VR.
Oh, Jet Set Radio. Oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
That'd be a cool little world just to be immersed in, I reckon.
Yeah.
With that graphic style.
Jesse B says, I want a cleaner dashboard. Honestly, a good sticker set or skin would be awesome for the Xbox. Those are awesome ideas.
Yes. A cleaner dashboard, I agree with you there, Jesse. Well, it's not bad as it, but yeah, definitely could get a nice, clean, crisp look.
I know, right? If you guys have those in chat, if you have any ideas that you would like to share, that you would like to see on the Xbox, drop them down and I'll highlight them and we can brainstorm together.
As I said, because like I said, that other thing I was saying too, I don't know if everyone heard me before we were cut off. Because, especially now this gen more than anything, obviously, if we're going to get another gen or two of hardware, It's all got PC parts in it, right? Every bit of it's PC parts. So I'd like to see them make a few parts accessible to be able to change yourself, like you would a PC. Obviously, they'll have, because there's still those closed off things. They could only, it'd be limited, but I don't know. It'd just be nice still. You know, as I said, like you get 3 years into the gen and new graphics card comes out, and they say, "Yep, that will go in there. That'll be alright." But then that'll be it for you. Like when it pertains to that, so you can swap that out. You know. And
Yeah, that would be sick.
we're at a point, as I said, they're basically little mini. They're basically little mini PCs.
They are.
You know, they've moved away from really being truly a console anymore, because consoles back in the day used to have their own parts
Right.
in them. You know what I mean? So now they're mini PCs, because that was the point. Well, at least in Microsoft's case anyway, from all things that they've said, was to make them more on par with PC, so it made it easier, you know, to develop and develop a game for Xbox and then over to PC and vice versa, and obviously give us the we're getting up to 120 FPS now, and
Yes.
ever been, you could only ever do that on a PC beforehand. And so I mean, like, yeah, that would be something cool too. Whether or not that just might be a crazy idea of mine, but whether or not they'd actually do something like that, I don't know.
I don't know. You never
Because
know.
at the end of the day, they still want to try and treat it as a console, because, you know, otherwise, yeah, you might as well just say, hey, they're mini PCs. If you start letting people change too much, yeah, but yeah, it would be nice. It just would be nice, as I said, and at the end of the day, it saves them going to work and doing like mid-gen refreshes and stuff. If people could swap out, you know, graphics cards and stuff like that, or and buy extra or more RAM or whatever else they could they'd allow you to change.
$1,000 later. Back from
No, you were that, yeah. Could get pricey.
Oh yes. Back from the Dead says my Series X is probably more powerful than my PC. And then Jesse B, hold on, let me get my little thing down here so I can see.
Yeah,
my S is more powerful.
On my path, yeah.
Yeah, than my 750 Ti.
His other comment where he said, I wish they would go that way. He was agreeing with me. He goes, but he doesn't see it either, because they want a known baseline of performance they can develop for. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, it's probably a crazy idea. I'm only just thinking of it, Jesse, myself, you know, because we're at that point that they are basically mini PCs, PC parts. Might as well let us change it. Saves you cost of money of doing a mid-gen refresh or whatever, and you know, if you let us do it, it could even draw out a generation a bit longer than, you know, what generations last, you know. But yeah,
I just hope that they don't design a system.
I think it's just a.
Oh, go ahead.
I think it's just a cool thought. I was just going to say, I think it's just a cool thought that'll stay in my head, though, because I agree with Jesse. I don't think they'll do it.
Now, in the future, like, if they do continue to go down the console line for Xbox, I just hope that they don't put a coolant inside it like they did with the new PlayStation. Because from what I read, Alienware helped create the design of the new PlayStation, and they put like a coolant inside. So when I heard they put a coolant in there, I'm like, why? Like, you're paying all this money, what if it leaks inside your system? Like, I was like, oh.
Are you talking about the liquid metal?
The liquid, yeah. Because I'm like, that's risky. They shouldn't have done that. That's risky. I get what they were trying to do. Yeah, I get what they were trying to do with it. But I'm like,
obviously they should have had like a little pipeline in there if they could have fit it, because that's how it is in a freaking PC.
Yeah, something. But that's too risky.
It's in protective tubes and everything, not just sitting in a freaking, in a little
it's
square.
like in a little
freaking,
square.
You know, foam looking thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen somebody take it apart on YouTube, and he
Just
showed that
going,
part.
Man, if that was to ever like bubble up enough, I mean that's not even the height of that foam thing around it isn't very high. But if it was to bubble up or anything like that, or leak through it, I was like,
I
man,
can't even imagine.
that gets everywhere, and that thing's toast. You're buying a
For those that own a PlayStation, I hope you don't go through that. That would suck. Paying all that money and all that crap leaks through.
Yeah, well, they were supposed to revise. That's supposed to be a part of this next revision model that comes out. That was one thing that apparently they were supposed to be looking into a better way of obviously containing it and that than what they fucking did with it.
Right. Welcome, Umbra. Thank you so much for stopping by, sir.
Smooth operator.
Smooth operator.
Smooth operator.
Trinity, check your DM real quick. Oh my. No, you didn't. Hold on.
I had to go there for him. That's his theme song. That's his theme song now.
Oh, I know.
He's got his own theme song. He'd be a wrestler coming out of that shit.
Oh my goodness.
Now, from the streets of Chicago, the Infinite Umbra, Soul Man.
Oh, it didn't? Oh, you know why? I had some issues at the beginning. I had to restart my stream, brother. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Where's the thing at?
Yeah, she is Yobi. She's a legend.
Let's see, how can I do this? Uh-oh. I think I just hung up on Spooky. Oops. I know there's a way to...
What happened there?
I was trying to send him... Hold on. I was trying to send him an invite to the chat here. Because I sent him a link.
Okay.
To make it easier.
Did you turn your camera off as well there, love? Because your camera's not showing on the screen now.
Oh, it's not. Oh, my bad. Sorry about that, folks. I'm still getting used to.
He's a soul man. He's a soul man.
As I was saying, I'm still getting used to Discord, so forgive me, you guys. I don't use Discord like that, but this was my my little last option here. Let's see what's this pinned.
He said in the chat, "Do you have a chat channel open?"
Wait, how the heck do I do? Wait, it should be open. Umbra. Oh, that's how I can do it. Okay, so I was able to invite Umbra.
Alright.
Okay. Okay, so next time, okay. I think I figured it out.
Yeah, that's alright.
Okay. Okay, now I gotta get my thing back up here.
Hang on 2 seconds. Love, I will be back.
Okay.
Let's go into the little boy's room. Gotta take a little tinkle.
Take a little tinkle. Okay. Okay, everything's showing good. Sorry about that, folks. I'm still getting used to Discord here. Yobi, can you see me now, brother? shoot. What did I do now? Leave that there. All right, shrink that. I should be back in business. Okay. That down. All right. Yobi, you should be able to see me now, brother. Hopefully. All right, sweet. Umbra, did you get that invite, brother? Let me see.
We're back.
Let's see.
Camera's on, and your camera's on. Camera's on now.
Yes. Okay.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Well, I sent Umbra an invite through Discord, so I don't know if it's still there or not. Hopefully it is. I'm still getting used to everything on here. Like, I've had a Discord account for a while. I just never used it like that, really. Because I was always on Twitter. And I would do my own group thing if I wanted to on Twitter, so I'm getting used to it. I did, but I think I have to be invited to the channel you two are on. Okay, so now I gotta figure that out.
Well, while you're doing that, I just want to take a moment. Obviously, this is non-gaming, but we all, I think, have heard the news by now. England's greatest leader, their Queen Lizzie. She had a good wicket. She had a good run. 96 years young. But rest in peace, love. Going to be missed. Probably one of the hardest working women the world's ever seen. She was still digging holes and planting trees all the way up to the ripe old age of 96. For God's sakes. Woman didn't stop working. Inspirational. What more can you say? Just a lovely woman. I don't think anybody's ever had a bad word to say about her. But yeah, obviously the bells are ringing 96 times around the world for us. So I don't think we'll see that again in our lifetimes. A monarch that sat on the throne for as long as what she did. She set records there. So no, God bless her and Godspeed.
You sent an invite to join a server. Okay. Okay, Umbra. I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. Let me see here.
Now, it's been a while, but now they got a king.
Yes.
King Charlie boy. Don't get too close to him though. He might poke your eye out that nose he is.
You are silly.
He's got like a wicked witch of the west nose, that poor bastard. Every time someone does him, like draws him as cartoon form, they always draw his nose like a big Pinocchio nose.
Oh my goodness. I'll figure it out for next time, Umbra. Again, I'm still getting used to all this. Oh wait, edit permissions. It's on everyone. Yeah, it's on invite. Yeah, yeah, I'll look at it. I'll look at it another day. Yeah, I'm still getting used to everything on here. All right, Umbra. Next time, brother, we'll have you on if you're available. Most definitely. Thank you again, you guys, for being here. That means a lot. That really does. Because again, I'm still getting used to this podcast thing, even though I've done it like way back when Mixer was around. I only done it twice, but that was about it. But still, I still feel like a newbie at this, but I'm learning. So thank you again for your patience, and especially when I have my little technical hiccups, because it does get frustrating, but I stay strong. Literally, I stay strong and just learn from it and grow from it. That's all you can do, because getting frustrated about it is not going to get you anywhere. It's a learning experience, and I appreciate all the obstacles that come my way when it comes to that, because again, I learn from it to the point where if something happens, I'll know how to handle it. So I'm grateful for that. I really am. So again, thank you for sticking by me and helping me grow and being along for my journey. So thank you guys for that. Thank you. Because I totally get it. When people come to streams and stuff and they be seeing like technical difficulties and stuff, it's like realistically, people are going to get frustrated. Like, I can't hear nothing. I can't see nothing. They leave. I get it. Stuff happens. But again, it's a growing experience. So whoever goes through the same thing, don't get discouraged. Keep going. Even if you're streaming with one person or two people or three people. Like, that's how I started it out. I started streaming with 4 people back in the Mixer days. People that I was really I'm still close with, actually, till this day, that I met on Twitter. And my followers, my blessings are getting bigger and bigger every year. So you guys helped me get this far. That's why I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you for your support always. I really do appreciate it. And hard work does pay off. It really does. So for those that are just tuning in, we were going over ideas that we would like to see for Xbox in the future. We were just brainstorming things that we would like to see. Excuse me. So if you have any ideas that you would like to spit out there that you would like to see for Xbox, share it with the chat if you like, and I'll highlight it and we can talk about it together. Don't be shy. So yeah, we're just brainstorming together. I'm trying to think of some other cool things I would like to see. And it doesn't have to be Xbox. It can be other consoles as well. Stuff that you would like to see better on the other consoles as well. Like with Nintendo. I don't know. I can't really say for Nintendo because I don't really play on the Switch as much. But so far, things are looking good for the Switch. They're just doing their own thing. Their game collection is growing more and more. They keep coming out with awesome games for it. And it's getting more interactive on the Switch. I just wished that, because I know they came out with this last Switch with the OLED screen. Talking to you about I think that they came out with. And I think you and I were agreeing on how they should have just waited until they came out. Or what was it that we were saying that they should have put on there? Or they should have added before they came out with the new Switch? I'm just trying to remember. Crap, I can't remember. It'll come back to me. In the meantime, Jesse B says, I want that plug and play option. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Are you talking about are you talking about them bringing out a Switch 2?
Yes, because I heard that they didn't add like what people expected to this newer one, this OLED one, and then you and I were brainstorming and we were, but yeah, they should have.
You keep really botting hard, love, and freezing. Just so you're aware.
Yeah, I see. I can tell from my phone.
Why?
Okay, there, it cleared up now. I think it's internet related stuff. It happens. This is what I'm talking about. I'm so used to like tech stuff happening. I'm like, you know what? Let it run its course, and I'll fix whatever needs to be fixed. So there's nothing to stress about, really. I'm so used to it. So hopefully it didn't stop. Jesse B says people were wanting more memory or even a chip refresh. Nineveh has a little bit of a better chip they could have thrown in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Make sure my video didn't stop here.
Yeah, the
There we go.
NVIDIA's really fucking going hard with it, I tell you.
There we go.
With their latest chipsets and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But they should have waited before they put out this other Switch. They should have just skipped a freaking Switch 2 and added all that stuff that people were looking forward to. You know. But it is what it is. But yeah, so far, I'm loving what Nintendo is putting out for its Switch so far. So it's pretty cool. Jesse B. Let me highlight what he's saying here. He says they use them for self-driving tech, but it's very similar to the X1 in the Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. And then, it's saying hello again. So, what else was I gonna bring up? So, like for PlayStation, I don't know what future wise, I don't know how the PlayStation's gonna end up. I really don't. But I just hope with the next one they come out with all its features and not half-assed. Like we added chat, then you gotta wait like a year later. We added this. A year later, we added that. Like, why can't you just add it all at once? You know what I mean? When that happened, I felt like it wasn't fair for everyone to experience the PlayStation, especially the newer ones. Like, they should have everything up in there already, and not half-assed. That's not fair to the consumers. That's how I personally feel about that. Because if I bought a PlayStation, they didn't have all the features to it, I would have been, oh, hell no, see. That's just messed up. But some people are okay with it. And they're like, they'll come out with whatever when it's time. I'm like, oh, okay. So, it just depends on the person. So, it is what it is.
Indeed, indeed.
What about you, love? What are your thoughts for, like, other systems of what you would like to see happen?
Yeah, well, obviously the Switch needs a massive update, as we just said.
Yeah.
They really need to be on par with Steam Deck. Steam Deck's like well and truly more powerful, device. So I'd like to see them definitely come out with Switch 2, like a proper Switch 2. Otherwise, I mean, I've talked to a couple of people lately. There's a few people still out there that would love to see Nintendo go back to making like a traditional bloody console as well. So
yes,
there's that crowd out there too. So I mean that would be interesting to see if they were to do that, but I just don't know. I just don't know enough of their plans, and I don't think anybody really does, because Nintendo's always been that company that kept everything close to their chest, so to speak.
Right. That would be sick if they did come out with a console, though, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
That would be something different, something fresh.
I would like to see Luna become more of a presence. They seem to be, Amazon seems to be, at least from all accounts, a lot more serious about this gaming thing than what Google has been. So I'd like to see Luna get more of a bloody presence. And, I don't know, bring something to the table that they can bring. I mean, they've got deep pockets, probably just as deep as Microsoft. Jeff Bezos being one of the most wealthiest people in the world. And so, they're not going to ever have a console per se because of their model.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to see them have more of a presence in the sense that whilst you don't have a console, maybe bring out your own controllers, and it's got your own branding on it and stuff like that, for Luna. They could even move Luna and incorporate into a subscription with your Prime. So that would make it more enticing again to people, because it'd be in a package deal, I guess you could say, with their Amazon Prime.
Right.
And then having their own sort of unique controllers sort of to go with it. Like, obviously still say you can use any controller you still want to use, but it'd just be something else to have the branding on there, just so there's that branding out there with them. As for PlayStation, I just want to see them definitely. The one thing I don't like about the PS5 is how big the bloody thing is.
Oh, I think it's a weapon.
It's an eyesore. So I want to see, and they keep saying that they haven't got any interest at the moment doing a slimline version, but I would like to see a slimline version, a slimmer console from them. Something that is more appealing and fits into more people's living rooms.
Right.
What else would I like to see with them? I'd just like to see them, PlayStation, really go back to their PS1 and PS2 roots. I think over the years they've lost a bit of focus on what they were more known for when they broke into this industry. And they were known for PlayStation's the place. You want to play anything that you put your mind to, of any genre, we've got it. I'd like to see what I mean. So what I mean by that is, I would like to see them go back to having more variety, instead of just having this focus on their big, third-person, glossy blockbuster movie-style games.
Right.
Now, whilst they keep making them, they're good, they're great, people love them, they sell. You haven't really got much variety outside that. Yeah, you still got, you had Ratchet and Clank, but it's outside again. You just don't have what you used to have. So I'd love to see them create some new IP in different genres. Get another platformer going, and
right.
Back in the day they had Crash, they had Spyro, until they gave them up. But
unfortunately.
We just have more variety. Just have more variety over there.
Yeah.
Outside that, and a smaller console, again with them, it'd be the same thing with the Xbox. They need to give people more space. 1 terabyte don't cut it. Not with the size of games these days. Not with the size of bloody DLC for games or patches for games. Some of these DLC and patches
it adds on.
Are as big or bigger than the base game.
Right.
And as you said, it adds on. Because then say your base game's 60 gig. Say your base game's 60 gig. You have an update that's 90 gig.
Right.
That's 150 gig of game right there. You know? And then there's some games out there that are 200 odd freaking gig. It's like freaking getting ridiculous. So, like I said, I don't think it's acceptable anymore to have any less than 4 terabytes in there, even if that means the price has got to be slightly more.
Right.
People will play that slightly more price. It won't be significant, because that the hard drive SSD and that's a lot less in cost than most of the other stuff that's in there. Put it that way.
Right.
So give us like 3 or 4 freaking terabytes to start off with. At least that gives some people leeway and before they have to go out and buy extra, like another extra add-on SSD or hard drive, portable hard drive, whatever.
Right.
1 terabyte is not good enough. Not now. You might fit 4 games on there, maybe, if you're lucky, depending on the size of those games, maybe 5. But as I said, like, you look at my Series X at the moment, I've got 3 portable hard drive, SSD hard drive type things that are hooked up to it.
Right.
I've got the little Seagate memory SSD thing that's stuck in the bloody back. So that tells you that 1 terabyte ain't enough.
No.
Not even close.
Let me point out what Jesse B mentioned here real quick. So he says, I think Wii U sealed their fate as far as the direction Then he mentioned Stadia needs more love and seriousness put behind it. And then last but not least, he put thanks. Well, because I told him that he was giving out some great points. And so he says, PS had some great IPs, Bushido Blade, Siphon Filter. There are so many they could even revisit. That's true. That is true.
Yes, yes. They could bring those back, Jesse. They could bring Resistance back, SOCOM back. We were talking about SOCOM the other day on the Next Level Gaming podcast. Because Mike made a really good point, and I totally agree with him. He said, one of Sony's arguments, or Jim Ryan's arguments, has been with this whole Activision Call of Duty thing. Because the FPS market is quite flooded, and they had a game, and if they bring it back, it could just be as big, because it was huge when it was around with SOCOM. That could be competition to Call of Duty, and even more so, for as well as Call of Duty is sold, everybody knows, because it's been the majority of people's thoughts out there, it really was at its height in the 360 days, really, Call of Duty. And because I'd been a long time Call of Duty fan, so I was one of these people that were speaking on it. It got too samey every year, because it was an every year thing, like your sports games, right? Which isn't a hell of a lot of turnaround for anything to really change too much. So people started getting sick of having the same bloody maps all the time. People started getting sick of the campaign that once had a bit of length to it, and once was really, really good, got shorter and shorter, and it was nearly non-existent. You know what I mean? Like, whilst Call of Duty's still a seller, it has been on the downhill, as what I mean by that as in like popularity, as in, it used to be the it thing when it come to FPS, right? I wouldn't say it's got that aura about it as such. That's why it needs rescuing. That's why, as we discussed, it's a game. It's one of those games. No, it shouldn't disappear. But instead of doing that 12-month cycle, turn it into a 2-year cycle. Have it come out biannually, every second year. Give the dev some time. And if you do that too, that would free up other teams like Toys for Bob and others that they've got doing helping hand type work on it to get these games out yearly. Off to do other things, like Toys for Bob are known for bloody Banjo-Kazooie. Right. What are they doing working on bloody Call of Duty? You know what I mean? So, that's what I would like to see. It's for Sony to bring back SOCOM, and because that was a heck of a game, and it could be again. Resistance was a heck of a series. Could be again. I don't even know why it disappeared. Right. It didn't wane in popularity. People loved that series. Another one Jesse mentioned, and I loved it. I know it was another popular series in that. Siphon Filter. Bring it back, rejuvenate it, give it some new life. Let some of the new crew, new gamers that didn't play it back then, because we were kids back then, get a chance to get their hands on. Because they're doing that with Perfect Dark. So why not do it with a game like Siphon Filter? Right. And that's been a game that's been dormant since what was it, Jesse? PS1 or PS2? Because it didn't come out on PS3, It was just those two that had Siphon Filter, so,
That sounds about right. First and second one. No, you did. Leave me alone, Ember. I'm already having enough issues today. Yes, I'm responding to the chat, sir. Mind your business. Okay, let me get to what Infinite was saying.
Yeah, well, he says so. I don't know what it would be. Yeah, that's what I was just covering. He said he wouldn't like to see what Sony would charge if they had a 3 or 4 terabyte internal PS5. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
At least Xbox would be a little bit more fair on it because they'd wear the cost a little bit. But hey, at the same time too, that's why I said it's. While they'd have to up the price on the console a little bit for giving us that more storage, it certainly isn't the most costly part in the console. Let's just say that. So at least it's only a storage part and nothing else, you know.
Jesse B says, I want Ravensoft to go back to make games like X-Men Legends. Exactly. Let's see.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah, PS1 or early PS2. Yeah.
My sis, Miss K. Thank you again for being here, sis. I love you. Miss K used to be on Twitter, by the way, but Twitter got too, you know how Twitter is. So she did her own thing, and she's on YouTube. So you guys check her channel out as well, because she be posting some great things. So she mentioned, have we seen, hold on, what's it called? The new Elite controller core. And I was like, oh yeah, those controllers are sexy. So yeah, I've seen those. I'm about to get me one of those for real. Let's see, Umbra.
Yeah, that'd be right. Yeah, that.
Go ahead, babe.
Sony would put it at 900, and Xbox would go, yeah, we'll put it at $200. We'll go 700. Cut him off 200.
Oh my god.
But see, Xbox can afford to do that, you know, because as I said, like, they make money like every bloody minute of the day, so it'd be all right for them to eat that chunk. You know what I mean? Sony, on the other hand, they'd be like, nah, we're gonna charge, and we're gonna charge like a motherfucker.
Okay, for real. For real.
And you're gonna pay it, and we know you're gonna pay it because you damn well love us. No.
Oh my, give me your money.
Yeah, give us more money.
Oh my gosh, I tell you.
Xbox over here just saying, we just want you in our ecosystem. We just want your friendship to burn. Sony over here like Mr. Burns, you know, clacking those fingers together. He's like,
he said Care Bears.
These little bastards, huh? Yeah. We see that money burning a hole in your pocket, son. Why don't you pass it on out of that pocket? Just pass it on over here to Jim. Come on, pass it over. Give us that money.
Umbra says, if only we know Sony ain't taking no losers and being pro-consumer. And then Miss K says, Microsoft got that bag. Girl. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Shoot.
Yep. Every time someone purchases a copy of Windows, boom, there's money in their pocket. Bam.
Miss K. Phil Spencer's like that Ariana Grande song. I want it, I got it. I want it, I got it. She knows what song I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. For real, Phil Spencer don't play. He be showing up with his hands in his pocket like, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna buy you, and I'm gonna buy you.
Nah, but that's the thing. Like, I said that on Mike's show. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they got the money to pretty much, like, within reason, obviously, to buy anybody they want. But I don't think they're out for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're out for. I mean, they Activision, I think, just kind of come along because. I mean, basically with that company, it was a company that was screaming to be saved. Screaming to be saved. It needed help. Needed new direction. So that kind of was just sort of fell into place. Bethesda was just a natural fit. You know, sort of like Insomniac and Naughty Dog were for Sony back in the day. Because Bethesda, whilst, yeah, the games have been on PlayStation, where did they start? PC. They used to be PC only, and Oblivion, I do believe, was Xbox exclusive. So again, that was more. They'd worked that closely and been in bed for years. It was just a natural fit. But now I think after this, like you know, you hear people, oh, we want them to get WB. Nah, it'll be Ubisoft. Nah, I don't think they're gonna go. I really don't. I don't think they will go after anything big. I think they might go after Sobo, what's that? Avalanche Studios.
Oh yeah,
Just make
yeah.
more little acquisition. And the reason I say that is, whilst originally with this Activision Blizzard deal, for a little while there, from all accounts, it seemed to be coasting along nicely enough that there was a lot of us that were thinking the deal could be closed, done, signed by, at least by the end of this year, by Christmas or New Year's Eve or whatever.
Right.
Now though, like we said on Mike's Next Level Gaming show, shout out Mike and the boys, Peter and Chris. It's not a sure thing. It's not as a sure thing as it once looked. And even Charlie brought up on the BASTERDZ last night, it's still got to go through America yet too. And he's not so sure with the current government in the US if they'll even pass it, because they're not exactly, what did he say? Willing to come to the forefront to help a local business, obviously Microsoft being American. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out in the UK and how it plays out in America and a couple of other areas, because it's again, it's not such a sure thing just yet.
Right.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Jesse B.
It's gonna get interesting.
Sorry, my love. Jesse B says, "Spooky, I am with ya. Smaller strategic gets would fill holes a lot quicker and easier than other massive purchase. Be embracer."
Yeah. Yes. Like Embracer, buying up littler ones, because the way I'm also looking at it is, let's say, right, because we don't know which way it's going to go right now, but let's say hypothetically this deal does go through.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of freaking trouble and obviously money that they'd be forking out for lawyers with all this stuff as well, that they're going through with such a big deal. Why would you want to put yourself through that again so soon? You know what I mean? Like, or if at all, like if this deal goes through with the teams that are underneath, that are like the talent and teams that are underneath Activision Blizzard, and with the teams and talent that you got out of the ZeniMax, but there's like, damn, you have like nearly 40 odd, close to 40 odd bloody studios all up, if not a tiny bit more, I don't know, but exactly the number, but it's going to be somewhere like that, right? So you only need to go after littler stuff then. And like I agree with Pong, and Pong said it many times. He thinks that they don't have a number specifically of where they're going to start, because they're treating it like a Netflix, like it has to be constantly fed. So we could be looking at Microsoft in another few years. They could have 50 freaking studios.
Okay, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, more than that, even.
They could have some. They could. They could very well, because I think whilst this might be the last big one that they do, real big one, I think they will still acquire stuff, but it'll be on more of the littler scale. Because the littler scale, you just buying like someone like an Asobo that helped them with Microsoft Flight Simulator, Plague's Tale is what they're known for as well.
Oh yeah.
The deal goes through quite quickly, and it's, reasonably, there's not as much issues as such a big deal like this. So that's another reason, and you could get it done quick, and then you could be at the table again.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they haven't been back at the table lately, because they're waiting for this to clear.
Right.
Umber
says, the more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. And he says, I feel they'll probably go after smaller studios too, though, Spooky. I want them to acquire WB Games and the DC license, though.
Well, this is what I think on that, Umbra. This is just my personal opinion. I think what WB and Discovery will do is they're going to split everything up. And I think they're going to... I really don't think... I think at one stage it looked like they were going to try and sell it off as a whole kit caboodle. But I don't think they are now. I think they're going to do it another way because they will end up, logically, when you think about it, making more money this way by selling them off individual. So what I'd like them to do, again, and this would be a smaller deal, it wouldn't be doing the whole WB as a whole. I'd like them to acquire Rocksteady, and with Rocksteady, acquire Rocksteady with all the DC licensing, so pay extra for that. And I would love them to acquire, Ed Boon and NetherRealm Studios. Yeah, so if they could get NetherRealm as well as Rocksteady with the DC licensing, I'd be freaking happy with that. I would be happy with just those two. Because if you just did them individually. Yeah, NetherRealm, yeah. So you did a deal for NetherRealm and you did a deal for Rocksteady, but you said, we'll give you extra if you throw in all the DC licensing, so Rocksteady, could make not just Batman games still for obviously Xbox, but having the DC license, they could make a Superman game, that they could do Flash, they could do Aquaman now that Aquaman's actually bloody popular.
Hey.
So that could open the door for them. And I've said for the longest time, the one area that Microsoft, from a game point, that they lack genre-wise is the superheroes, right? Because Sony, as we know, they've got Spider-Man. Both lots of Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Miles Morales. They've also got Wolverine coming. That's going to be exclusive, right? So they're kind of being slowly, you would say, with at least those two, and God knows they might have another IP under Marvel coming, but they're kind of the home of Marvel. I'd like to see Xbox become the home of DC. Which would suit me just fine, because I've always been a DC guy more than a Marvel guy. Because DC comics have always been, had that more darker tone, and that's what I prefer.
They're more violent.
DC comics, I felt, are more darker tone, more aimed. I mean, yeah, kids can read the comics and stuff like that. Their comics are more aimed at an older audience. I would like to say, because as again, the villains are a lot darker. Even the heroes have got a lot darker pasts than most, I won't say all, but most of the Marvel characters.
Right.
Because we all know Peter Parker's sad story. But not all the Marvel characters have dark past or any bad past, not all of them. Whereas a lot of the DC ones, they do. They have a lot of traumatic times and shit in their past, and the villains, as I said, are just darker, more vicious. I think. That's me. That's me. I could be just speaking on bias because I'm a DC guy, but that's just me. So if Xbox became home of DC, it'd be beautiful, because they'd be able to say, right, well, you've got Marvel, we got DC. You got Spider-Man, we got Batman.
Hold on, sis, I got you. So Miss K asks, when is the Activision deal supposed to go through? And then she asks, won't Wolverine be on PC as well, or nah?
I
don't even know.
Probably. I think it will. I mean, Spider-Man, they did do Spider-Man Remastered, because I just got that on my PC. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Wolverine. I don't know if it'd be day and day, but it probably likely would. Hey, yeah, that would be cool if Xbox for Marvel side became the home of X-Men. Yeah, that'd be cool, because there's a lot of cool X-Men characters. One of my favorite X-Men characters, probably my favorite X-Men character, is Gambit. I've always loved.
I'm
Gambit
Wolverine.
Cards. Wolverine,
baby.
Outside Gambit, it's Magneto all day, because I love the bad guys. And yeah, Xbox having him would be massive, bro. That's what I'm saying. Having Batman would be huge. Would be huge.
Let's see what did Jesse B say. He says, I wouldn't even be mad if Xbox became the home of the X-Men side of Marvel.
Yeah.
And then Infinite says, Spider-Man is my favorite comic character of all time, but Batman is probably second. So Xbox getting him alone would be massive for me. And then Umbra says they speculate next year by June for the ABK deal to wrap up. Miss K says, cool. And then Infinite says, Wolverine could go day and date on PC, but even if not, I believe I'll eventually go to PC.
I'd love to see it go day and date, brother. I really would, but
Yeah.
I'd definitely agree that it will get to PC because, as I said, Spider-Man's made it to PC, so
Yeah.
it'd be a bit stupid if they didn't bring Wolverine. I'd be like, well, you got one Marvel. What's wrong with having this one, Marvel? You know, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, the speculation is June. I think that, I mean, that still gives plenty more time, but they're going to probably need that.
Yeah.
The UK right now, from the way it's looking, the UK themselves are going to hold this shit up all from now, could be till Christmas time. God knows, or near enough to Christmas time before anything moves over there. I think, especially in Europe, see, because PlayStation's got a big stranglehold in Europe. They always have. They're really digging their heels in over there. But it's just freaking foolishness. Like I said on Mike's podcast, all right, we leave Nintendo out of it, as we say, because they're in their own lane doing their own thing.
Right.
For the market leader who squashed Xbox last generation, let's be fair, squashed them. Not just had them on the ropes, had them to the point that Satya Nadella was going to close up shop. Right?
Right.
But you're in the pole position. What are you doing whinging? Because this deal doesn't really hurt you, right? When you're in front and Xbox is a mile behind, still playing catch up because of mistakes that was made by the previous leader of Xbox and the start of last gen, right? And like I said on Mike's side of things, two things. This had been Sony acquiring the ABK, the deal would be done. It really would. It'd be done. There wouldn't be a hold up. The media would be like, woohoo, like they always are. And end of story. And not only that, they'd turn around too and say everything's exclusive straight out of the butt. We know how they work. That's how they've always worked.
Yeah.
Right? But not only that, if it was, and hypothetically again, if it was Sony in Microsoft's position right now, then it should be scrutinised even more because you're the market leader and you're the one purchasing ABK. You're already powerful enough. That would definitely put you in a position where it would put the competitor at a disadvantage. Whereas Microsoft's playing from last place, you know, or near enough to last place, and you want to sit there and say, oh, this is going to hurt us. No, it's not. It's only hurting you because you're too lazy to go back and bring one of the best FPS shooters back. You don't want to do that legwork, it seems. What it seems, and again, no hate, real hate on them, but a lot of people are pretty much thinking like this, and there is no other way to look at this. With Jim Ryan crying and PlayStation crying as much as they're crying, right? All that screams from an outsider looking in, you motherfuckers are scared of competition. You didn't have competition last generation. You coasted along, and you got used to that. And this generation, because Microsoft decided to put the gloves on, grow a set, and come to the table and say, we're taking this serious now. Let's have a 15-round boxing fight. Sony's in the corner bitching and moaning like, I don't like this. If they could have it their way, they would bully them out of the bloody gaming industry, just like they bullied their way into the gaming industry and got Sega to bow out.
It doesn't matter
Yes, Sega had their own hand in that too, but we all know what Sony did when they came in, and they played a part.
Yep.
So if they could have it their way, they'd get Xbox the hell out of here. They almost were successful last generation before Phil took over.
Yep.
But that's what this screams. They are scared of competition. They woke up asleep. Boxer's day in the sun back then. And they are scared of competition. That's all it says to me. You don't want to go into your own little boardroom and work out where yous are going wrong this generation, what yous could do to be doing better, not just for your brand and your console, but for your consumer base. Instead, you're too busy crying that you've actually got a competitor now. That this is now a fight. This is a battle. And don't they say competition is good for everything? Why don't they want competition?
It doesn't matter what your name is.
What are they afraid of? Now, obviously, one thing that they're obviously afraid of, which is, you know, the big elephant in the room, they know that Microsoft's got deep pockets. But PlayStation's proven for how many years that they don't need to be on the same page deep pocket-wise to compete. They've been the market leader. They've been whooping Microsoft's ass.
Yeah.
They just need to grow a set, put the gloves on, and get ready to actually have a fight on their hands, which should push them to make them better. Just like they did all that, you know, touting, all that, you know, underhanded shit that we know that they've done towards Microsoft and other companies, and you know, sort of punished Xbox, I guess you could say, and woke them up.
Right.
Now they've got to deal with the giant that they've woken up with, and as I said, I just don't think they like it. I don't think that they like the fact that Microsoft this generation has come back, and, you know, like Mike said, they're worried that they will lose people, you know, consumers, that will just go over so they can play Call of Duty and Game Pass. Mm-hmm. We know Call of Duty is such a big seller for them. It's like one of their top 3 selling games.
Right.
Right? But the fact of the matter is you're still not going to lose anybody, really. Because whilst Mike might be right towards a degree, and where I say that is, if you've got a situation with Call of Duty $70 over there, mm-hmm. and it's going into Game Pass, right? A lot of people will logically go, well, I can save a bit of money here, so I'll get it and play it via Game Pass. Now, just because they're saying that doesn't mean they're going over to cross over, oh, fuck the PlayStation, we're going over to Xbox now. No. They'll get on their PC and they'll access Game Pass that way. They'll get on their TV and access it. That doesn't mean they're getting an Xbox, right? At the same time, that might be doing that to get Call of Duty that way, mm-hmm. but you're still going to have plenty over that side that we all hear them. They're loud enough. So nah, fuck it, we'll just pay us $70. We'll be fine with that. And apart from that, even the ones that I call those first-party games,
right?
So that it's not like they're going to lose anybody, you know. And as we all know, even if the deal goes through, Microsoft has ABK, it still doesn't even push them up into second place. I think it puts them at third or something like that. So there's no monopoly happening there.
Right. Jesse B says they have, I believe, 30 days after asking for more info, and that pushes it to around mid-October, and by then you're into holiday season and it gets kicked to the next year. And then Umbra says, oh wait, Miss K says facts, and then Umbra says they're afraid of losing their market share and money. Yep.
Oh yeah. That is exactly what the problem is, Umbra. It's like they think that the space isn't big enough for everybody. Look, at the end of the day, like, even though Microsoft's been doing good and we appreciate what the team does, they're still a ways behind. They've still got a lot of ground to cover. They've still got a lot of proving. And I've said this about next year. Next year for Microsoft is make or break. On paper, when you look at their first party coming out next year, 2023 is Microsoft's to lose. It really should be the year of Xbox next year. All right? They need that, though, to give them yet another bump, right? Because they're still behind, right? When you think of the Sony first-party studios compared to Microsoft first-party studios, right now, Sony's first-party, they've already established themselves. They've already got the track record. We know what they bring. We know how good they are. That's what Microsoft's got to. That's one area Microsoft's got to prove themselves in, right?
Right.
We all know it. We can sit here and praise Microsoft all day with the good that they, but we do know the areas that they need to show improvement, right? Two big areas. They need to do a heck of a lot better marketing-wise.
Yes.
They're getting better.
Yes.
Especially with that last show they put on. They are getting better. So that was actually good to see. But they still need improvement there. But they need to prove that their first party is going to bring that quality.
Right.
That Sony's first party. So there is a lot of areas that they're still catching up. They're still playing from behind. And if I was Sony, not just yet anyway, I wouldn't even be worried about Microsoft coming close to taking that market share, because outside the US, like we discussed, PlayStation is so dominant in most other territories and is the biggest brand in most other territories. That's what I'm saying, that there is a long way to go before you can even say that in the same freaking line. Microsoft getting up there to share market share with Sony. You know what I'm saying? So they got nothing to freaking worry about. Just knuckle down and do what you're good at doing. All right? Just stop whinging about competition and let it drive you. Let it light a fire under your ass and get in the fight. Everybody, I remember myself as a kid. I used to love seeing the back and forth between Sega and Nintendo. It was brilliant. They both pushed each other. Come on, Sony. Come on, Jimbo. It's time to do the same thing. Just knuckle up and get in the fight. Don't worry about this whinging shit. You're already in first place when it comes to you and Microsoft at the moment. When it comes to gaming, you're in first, right? So just fight.
Yeah.
Get used to the fact that you, as I said, you woke up the giant and nagged competition. And competition makes everything better. Hang on.
All right, you guys. Was that everything you need to say, love? Oh.
What's said in the chat?
Oh, you're catching up to the chat? Okay.
Yeah, that was basically everything. Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose the only other thing I'm intrigued about is to see what Apple does. I know we heard those rumours a little while back that they were looking at having discussions with Microsoft to get some help or ideas on a console. I don't know. We haven't heard much more about it outside that, so I'm just keeping an eye and see what they're going to do, if they're getting into the hardware space, or what's going to become of that, if anything. So, yeah, interesting times is all I can say. Interesting times ahead.
Yeah. I got to get back to you, Umbra. I'll DM you. I haven't read it yet. I think I read what Phil Spencer put, but I didn't read what Jim Ryan personally said. So I'll get back to you on that and DM you my thoughts on that. Jesse B says, is it Jim the Clown now? He wears a lot of shoes. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'd say right at this point in time, Jim Ryan and PlayStation are looking like Ronald McDonald. They're a bunch of clowns, right? Because as I said, it would make more sense if this was the opposite way around. It would make more sense to hear, Microsoft doing the whinging if it was Sony acquiring, because as I said, Sony already being in that position of power, that if that was them, it could look from an outside looking in to hurt Xbox, because as I said, they're already well and truly in front, so this is the I know Microsoft got deep pockets, but I guess you call him the little guy when it comes to gaming over PlayStation, Nintendo. The one who's coming from behind, and you're whinging about the guy that's coming from behind, who's trying to pull themselves out of the hole that was created and get to somewhere as, so they are sort of in people's minds and are an option.
Yeah.
Because last gen, let's face it, a lot of people looked over at Xbox and said, fuck that. They didn't have anything compared to PlayStation. That's why PlayStation, out of the two of them, ran away with it last gen. And the fight was only sort of put up towards the end of that gen, and obviously it's continued on now. But they just need to grow up and just get in the fight, What did you think was going to happen when you poked a sleeping bear? You kept poking it, you kept poking, sure enough, you woke it up, you disturbed its slumber, now it's pissed off.
Now you're dinner.
Now it doesn't want to completely take over gaming, but it wants a good slice of the damn pie too. Now Nintendo's been doing this for fucking years.
Oh yeah.
Now, obviously they're open enough to go, hey, this space is so big, it's big enough for anybody to get into, as long as you got the funds, to sustain yourself there as well. So it's big enough for both Sony and Microsoft. Let Microsoft gain some of that pie. You still going to make money? You still going to make money? People are still going to buy your stuff? People still love your first party? Because you've already got the track record. You've already established yourself. You've got that recognition there. So what are you worried about?
Yeah, and Nintendo's one of those GOAT companies, so they know. They know.
Well, Nintendo's just doing their own thing. Nintendo's not whinging about this. You think Nintendo gives two shits if Microsoft was to get, even if Microsoft was to lock down Call of Duty, they wouldn't care.
They just sitting there eating their popcorn like, what you whinging about?
It'd be business as bloody usual, and that's exactly what Sony needs to be doing. Business as usual. Go and worry about your silly bloody idea of getting in the automotive industry that you've recently come up with.
Right.
Go worry about that. Make sure that at least gets out the bloody gate, because, even that idea I think stupid, because Tesla is already miles ahead. God damn, Sony vehicle now? Jesus. Sorry guys, just how many decades, a bit too late to get into automotive.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we gotta wrap it up. Goodness, we're having so much fun talking about this. It's like, oh my gosh, look at the time. But I just want to say a huge thank you to my panelist in the love of my life, Spooky Sprocket. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I appreciate it. And it's good to hear your thoughts on everything that's going on in the game industry, even stuff that I've missed out on, because I'm always busy and getting caught up with stuff. So that's very helpful. So thank you for your everything.
Absolute pleasure, my love.
Thank you, Jesse B.
I just wanted to also shout out quickly, Umbra, Jesse, Ms. K, and everybody else that was in here earlier, Yobi, and of course all the lurkers. Thanks for sticking with us and sticking with the little technical issues we had a bit earlier. We appreciate you all, and I appreciate, I know that myself, coming out and supporting my girl here, helping her get this little podcast of hers off the ground. She's had her struggles, definitely, over the last few weeks and months trying to get this off the ground, but we're finally here, and this is episode 2 now in the books. So I'm very, very proud of her, and very, very happy with how this is going. So congratulations, love.
Thank you, baby.
Another episode done and dusted.
Yes. Umbra says, no doubt, guys, had to come by and show some love. Yes, and Umbra, even though I'm still figuring things out on Discord, I will figure out how to send you an invite, brother. So definitely for next time, if you don't have anything to do. But thank you so much for being here. And Jessie B, thank you for being here. Miss K, sis, thank you so much for being here. That means a lot, even when you're tired. Who else am I missing? I don't want to miss anybody. Lurkers. Oh wait, Jago was up in here. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh yes, Jago.
And then
always good to see you, brother.
Oh, my boy Yobi, of course, Dragonheart Yobi. Thank you so much for being here, back from the dead. Thank you so much. And
brother
Lurkers.
Back.
Yes, thank you all so much. This means a lot. You have no idea. And hopefully on the rest of my journey, you'll love the topics that I bring up, because I'm trying not to be like everybody else when it comes to the topics, because everybody, no offense, is talking about the same stuff. So I just want to mix it up and come up with my own, questions and stuff. So hopefully you guys will like
course,
it. Go ahead, baby.
Before we end it too, once again, prayers and thoughts go out to the Queen's family.
Yes.
Prince Willie, Prince Harry, and the boys. Well, I can't call him Prince. King Charlie boy. Yeah, God bless the greatest queen that ever bloody lived, eh? Again, she had a hell of a run, and so I think we're all going to see on our television for the rest of the bloody week. I know.
Homegirl was holding on for sure. God bless her. She was holding on.
I thought, I'll tell you what, she was a bill of good health for quite some time.
Okay.
I seriously thought she was gonna end up writing herself her own letter that she writes people when they hit 100. She was only 4 years shy, the old girl too. So, God bless her. She lived a hell of a life. For those who aren't aware, she actually started in the army. She was a mechanic in the army.
Yes, she was.
How hard working this woman was. Hard working woman. And as I said, very inspiring. Did a lot for charity, a lot for to help world famine and hunger, and she's definitely will be remembered, never forgotten. I don't think anyone could. She was just such a lovely lady, and as I said, their best ruler, their best queen that they've ever had. And it's probably never going to be repeated again by any king or queen in this world. The length that she sat on that throne. So no, God bless her, and hope you're having fun upstairs with God, Lizzie. You've definitely earned it.
Oh, sweet babe. Now, before we go, I have some podcast news to share with you, real quickly. All right, you guys. So, the Backlog Bastards are on. Well, let me start with the panel first. The Breathtaking one, Spooky Sprocket, Frashido and Seven, Charlie Hustle, and Animated Evil. You can catch these guys on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time on YouTube. So, I hope that you guys. If you're not having, can't talk right. If you don't have anything to do on Wednesdays, check these guys out. You'll have a good time and a good laugh. And they're cheeky, which on top of that, so that's great. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming through, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow for episode 3. All right, you guys. Take care, and I hope to see you all again. All right. Peace. Oh, and don't forget, evening,
everyone.
And the motto that I always love to say is play what you want whenever you want. Good night, you guys.
Peace. We're free, free falling. Just beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. Don't you want to beat it?
Baby Bushido Mojito, we all know you, Umbra Senior, motherfucker. Umbra Senior. In the chat we had Umbra Junior. Don't be a bastard, that like button. Don't forget to share this motherfucker out. Tell your ma, tell your pa. Tell a hobo down the street who's rummaging through the garbage bin. Goddamn old bastard.
So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known.
Bushido, what are you doing under my bed? Goddamn it, man. Rolling around here. Go back down on the corner, out in the street with the bus boys, you know what I'm saying? God damn. Oh man, Bushido. Baby Mojito from Toledo. You motherfucker. Why you always gotta do me like that? Goddamn. Goddamn, Bushido. Looking at me with those beady eyes. What you doing? Going at your backyard, your back door, and your booties. Goddamn. Going up the aliens with the big booties. Oh my. Alien probe that ass. Oh. And we're dancing, oh yeah, dancing in the street, oh, sing it with me, oh yeah. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Under pressure.
You're under pressure, Bushido, fat ass, goddamn, Bushido, you big bad. You dropped another one, goddamn. My God. Bet my fire there, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no mountain high